Christmas. Let's go. Done all your holiday shopping?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, we're here for another WREP broadcast, and without further ado, here's our station manager, Michael Glenn Miller. And the WREP players.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us for our holiday broadcast. For the next 90 minutes, we invite you to join us on a journey back in time. Back to a time when radio entertained people. A time, well, here, who cares what time? Not you.
Hey, it's already 50 years. One more minute's not gonna make a difference.
We're here for 90 minutes. We're here for 90 minutes. We're here for 90 minutes. The sad thing is, I wrote this. Okay, Ruben?
Yep, you're good.
Good. Okay, let's try that again. Here to guide us on our trip back to the past are your WREP players. Please welcome Scott Rodas, Sonny Zacchio, Nicole Young, Patrick Bean, Karen Caballero, Mark Tesoro. And you've already met our sound effects engineer, Ruben Castillo. Now, one of the scripts we'll be performing this afternoon was first broadcast in 1948. So, we will transport you back to 1948, 68 years ago. Now, we know that you're all too young to remember 1948.
Yep.
So our players will let you know how things were back then. Scott?
In 1948, Harry S. Truman occupied the White House.
In 1948, a new house cost $7,700.
In 1948, South Pacific opened on Broadway.
In 1948, tuition at Harvard was $525 per year.
In 1948, a movie ticket cost 60 cents each.
In 1948, a new car cost $1,230.
In 1948, a gallon of gas for that new car cost 16 cents.
And in 1948, you could buy a postage stamp for 3 cents.
And just like that, we're back in 1948. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip. Ruben.
WREP is on the air.
Yesterday's news, however startling, is soon forgotten. 7 years ago, the headlines of every newspaper in California featured one big story: the mysterious and apparently unrelated disappearance of 3 people. Don Kirby, his wife Frances, and an unknown motion picture actress named Lisa Hillman. Today, still unsolved, the Kirby-Hillman mystery is a forgotten incident in the mind of the reading public. But Joe Crofton, reporter for the Morning Globe, hasn't forgotten. And even now, as the Globe's presses roll out the latest headlines, Joe is walking into the office of Lieutenant McBride at police headquarters.
Hello, thin man. Don't you ever knock? Sorry, tender knuckles. Busy, Lieutenant?
Very. What's on your mind?
A beach cabin. It's being torn down.
What do you want me to do? Find me an apartment?
Lisa Hillman was living in that apartment at the time she disappeared 7 years ago. The same day Don Kirby and his wife, Frances, vanished into thin air.
Yeah, it seems like I remember something about that case.
You should. You worked on it long enough without solving it.
You spent a little time on it yourself, didn't you, newsboy?
I sure did, Mac. But I didn't have the entree to the facts that you did.
For instance?
Well, what was missing from the company's safe? Their safety deposit box, the little wall safe at home, all that stuff.
You're way off, newsboy. Everything was in perfect order. Company funds all okay, bank deposits, everything.
Nothing missing?
Nothing. Well, there was one thing we looked at. A diamond necklace. Seems Mrs. Kirby inherited a 100-year-old diamond necklace from a distant relative a long time ago. Anyway, we couldn't find it. She may have taken it apart and sold it in pieces for all I know.
It's too bad. Maybe that necklace was the missing link connecting Don Kirby and his wife, Lisa Hillman.
Look, you still hopping on that? What makes you think there is a link between the two?
3 people just don't disappear on the same day without being connected in some way. Kirby disappears from his office, his wife from a train in San Diego, and Hillman from a beach cabin.
Look, I worked on that case for months. We could never prove that Kirby and his wife ever even knew the Hillman girl.
I have a hunch they did.
Maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, it's all washed up. Forgotten
I
about.
mean, it was forgotten about. The whole story will be in every paper on the coast tomorrow. The police department is going to look swell when the public realizes 3 people disappeared more than 7 years ago, and you boys never dug up a lead as to what happened to them.
You mean you've uncovered something?
Nobody ever uncovered anything. But they'll all be legally dead tomorrow, and the wills will be executed. All the papers will carry the story, Mac. Don't worry about that. In the meantime, I think I'll run to San Francisco.
What's in San Francisco?
Joe DiMaggio's place. Ever been there?
I asked you a question.
Okay. Frances Kirby was born in San Francisco. So, it's a thought. Think I'll fly up and have a look around. If I could crack that Hillman Kirby disappearance on the day they're all declared legally dead,
You're wasting your time, newsboy.
well, maybe so, but I've got a hunch, and I'm off to Frisco. When I get back, I'll dump that solution to what happened to Mr. and Mrs. Don Kirby and Lisa Hillman right in your lap, thin man.
Take my word for it, newsboy. The Kirby-Hillman mystery will never be solved.
When the Morning Globe's Joe Crofton arrived in San Francisco, he covered every possible angle. But the events added to, rather than simplified, the unsolved mystery of the Kirby-Hillman disappearance. Yes, he was more certain than ever that there was a link between Don Kirby, his wife Frances, and Lisa Hillman, the unknown motion picture extra. And that once that link could be established, there was a great story. And he was right. There was a story. And it began some 7 years ago, in the private office of Don Kirby, Vice President of Pacific Enterprises.
Well, George, it sounds all right to me. Let me think about...
Don, you've got to swing that Wallstrom deal for me. You've just got to.
I'll see what I can do, George.
I just need a little temporary help to tide me over in a bad spot. I'm afraid if this doesn't go through, well, you can write the George Collins investments off the books. I'll be licked, wiped out completely.
Don't worry about it.
I'm counting on you, Don.
Yeah, I know, of course. I'll have to speak to Mrs. Kirby about it again. She has the last word about...
Mrs. Kirby? Oh, I see. Couldn't you...
I think I can make her see your side of it, George.
Oh, all right.
I'll get on it right away. Bye.
Bye.
Morning, Don.
How are you, Jeff? Sit down. Get that matter of the Oakview property settled?
Uh-huh.
Good. What's on your mind?
I brought this in for your signature. Mrs. Kirby asked me to draw it up, the financial agreement. Yours and the company.
All right, I'll sign it.
Aren't you going to read it?
Mrs. Kirby okayed it, didn't she?
Well, yes, but...
Hand it over.
Don, look, it isn't at all fair. You're entitled to more than this.
The business belongs to Mrs. Kirby, Jeff. She holds the whip hand, as ever since she inherited the company from her father. What can
The company? And where do you think the company would be now if it hadn't been for you? Don, look, I was the company lawyer long before you came. The outfit was headed for the rocks until you took over. You're the brains behind this outfit. Why do you have to sign an agreement like this? You do the work and she has complete control control of everything.
That's the way Frances wants it, Jeff.
Well, why are you letting her get away with this sort of thing? What kind of a life is this for you anyway?
I have a life, Jeff. A life of my own, and it doesn't include Mrs. Kirby.
What?
Never mind, never mind. Hand over the papers, I'll sign them.
Yes, Don, you do have a life of your own, haven't you? And that life includes Lisa Hillman, and warm spring afternoons such as this one, sitting on the sun deck at Lisa's beach cabin, looking out over the ocean.
And what else did she say, Don?
Oh, that's about it. Jeff worries too much. Thinks I'm getting a raw deal from Frances.
Aren't you?
What difference does it make?
Darling, is this all we want? A life like this? Something that doesn't belong to us?
Is that a line out of a movie? Sounds familiar.
Perhaps. I had a bit part once. The other woman, you know. There were some very beautiful speeches.
It's no use, Lisa. She won't divorce me.
What are we going to do, Don? Give it all up?
Sure, I just won't see you anymore.
I'll forget I ever knew you.
It's that simple. There's enough work for me at the office, and we'll all just forget about it.
I've been thinking I'd like to go to New York. I have some contacts there. I'm sure I could do a play.
Frances wants to go to Mexico this summer. It might be fun. I've never been to Mexico.
I've always wanted to do a play.
Why do you have to have red hair and green eyes and be like you are?
Darling, what are we going to do?
I'm afraid there's nothing we can do, Lisa.
Don, perhaps if I talked with her, What was that?
What was what, darling?
I thought I heard a noise.
Probably some of our pack rat friends scurrying around under the cabin.
I do wish Mr. Hodges hadn't told me about them. Gives me the creeps. One of them actually got into the cabin the other night.
They won't hurt you, darling.
Let's go inside, shall we?
Okay, but I thought we were going to go for a ride in Mr. Sloane's motorboat before dinner.
Mr. Sloan.
Your secret admirer, remember?
Oh, dear Mr. Sloan, the gentleman who gave me the motorboat. Yes. But you know something, and this is my own little secret. There really isn't any Mr. Sloan. A nice man I know gave that name when the boat was registered, just to sort of, well, fool people.
How about a kiss for that nice man?
How could a lady refuse?
My, what a touching scene.
Frances!
So this is the reason for all that divorce talk, is it?
Frances! What are you doing here?
Oh, now really, Don, aren't you a bit confused? Shouldn't I be the one to ask you that question? My, she is pretty, isn't she? Yes, quite pretty in a common sort of way.
Lisa, you'd better go into the cabin.
Oh no, don't hurry away on my account, dear. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Mrs. Kirby, I think we'd better settle this once and for all.
You're quite right, Lisa. It is Lisa, isn't it? Yes, we should settle this little matter once and for all. I have no intention of giving him up. Is that understood?
But surely, knowing how Don feels about it, how can you...
And let me give you a warning. Stay away from my husband, because if you don't, I'll kill you, redhead. I'll kill you.
Yes, the events behind the mysterious disappearance of Mr. and Mrs. Don Kirby and the unknown motion picture actress Lisa Hillman began to take shape on that warm spring afternoon at the beach cabin when Frances Kirby threatened to kill Lisa if she ever saw the girl with her husband again. In the weeks that followed, Don Kirby tried to put Lisa out of his life. The picture of the girl with the flaming red hair and the green eyes was always on his mind. Then one evening, Don sat in the living room of the Kirby home. Frances was at the piano.
Don? Hun?
Oh yes, Frances.
You're not being a very good audience.
Sorry, I was thinking.
It wouldn't be hard to guess what you were thinking of.
Perhaps not.
Whatever became of your little redhead, Don?
Let's talk about something else, shall we? I haven't seen her since the afternoon you made your dramatic appearance at the beach cabin.
I'm sure you haven't, and I'm equally sure you know I meant exactly what I said. Aren't you, darling?
Yes, yes. Anything else on your mind?
Uh-huh. Something that will make you very sad. I'm going away for a few days.
Oh? I'll be quite lonely, but I suppose I can manage.
Do try to bear up under it, won't you, darling?
When are you leaving?
Tomorrow morning. I'm going to San Diego to visit Madge. You'll drive me down to the station in the morning. I'm leaving at 10 o'clock.
Sorry, I won't be able to make it. Better take a cab.
Oh, business appointment?
An appointment. I'm going to a funeral.
Don't try to be funny.
I'm not.
A funeral? Really? How depressing. Anyone I know?
George Collins, Collins Investments, remember?
George Collins. Yes.
I spoke to you about him a couple of weeks ago. He called me about the Fallstrom deal.
I remember. Sudden, was it? His death, I mean?
Quite sudden. Suicide.
I see.
Lost every cent he had. I suppose he felt he was too old to start all over again.
That's too bad.
Yes, isn't it? If we handled the Fallstrom deal, George Collins would probably still be alive.
Oh, really, Don? Are we going to go through all that again? I told you I didn't consider it a sound investment.
All right, Francis.
If you're going to say it's my fault that George Collins...
I said all right! I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm going up to bed. Good night, Francis.
The day following your wife's departure for San Diego, you know you've just about reached the end, don't you, Doc? You've had enough of Pacific Enterprises, of Francis, and the whole dull routine. You'll simply leave. Francis can have the business you built from nothing. The money, the house, the cars, everything. You'll gladly trade all of it for freedom. And Lisa. However, you'll need some money. Just enough for a new start. And all you have is a few $100s in your personal checking account. Before you plan your first move, you decide to have a talk with Lisa. In the event that Francis is having you watched, you take a taxi, then a streetcar, and finally a bus to reach Lisa's beach cabin that night. A cold gray mist is settling down on the coast, and you can hear the dismal wail of the foghorn at Point Bruner as you hurry up the front walk to the cabin and ring the bell.
Darling,
Hello, Lisa.
come in, come in. This is a surprise. I wasn't expecting you till Saturday.
Saturday?
Why, yes, that's what your note said. The one with the necklace.
Necklace? What necklace?
Really, Don.
No, wait a minute, Lisa.
Darling, it's beautiful.
Lisa, let me see that necklace.
Are you serious? You mean you didn't?
No, I didn't.
I'll get it. It's right over here. You're not teasing me, are you?
No, Lisa, I'm not.
Here it is. I think it's quite beautiful. Don, what is it?
Lisa, when did you get this?
The package came this afternoon with the note. Just plain typewritten note saying you'd be here Saturday. It wasn't signed, but I thought...
The note, where is it?
Why, I burned it with the wrapping paper, like the note said. Don, what's the matter?
This necklace belongs to Frances.
Your wife? It's her necklace?
Yes, she inherited it a long time ago from some distant relative. She didn't like it, never wore it, kept it in the library safe.
Don, I don't understand. What does this all mean?
I don't know, but it's pretty obvious she mailed this necklace. Here, give it to me.
What are you going to do?
Get it back to the library safe as fast as I can. I'll call you in the morning.
Hello, Don.
Francis!
Aren't you going to ask me in? Well, here we are again.
So, you didn't go to San Diego.
Oh, but I did. That is, I started to, and then I suddenly got an inspiration. I came back. Quietly, shall we say.
What are you up to, Francis?
My necklace. May I have it, please? Thank you. It's a pity, really, that my plan had to go wrong. It's all your fault, Don.
My fault?
Yes, showing up here so soon, it ruined everything. I counted on you staying away until I had time to report the stolen necklace to the police. I already had a red-haired suspect in mind, you see.
And so that's it. You pulled a stunt just like that, just to...
I thought it was rather clever. So much better than shooting her. A nice long prison term would have been.
I should have expected something like that from you, Francis. I oughta...
Don, wait, don't!
Let him go on, Lisa, dear.
I had an idea this morning, Francis, about leaving you, bowing out for good. Now, after this little frame you tried to cook up, I'm sold on the idea completely!
Don't be silly.
You can have Pacific Enterprises and everything that goes with it. I'm walking out on you, Francis. I've had enough. I'm sick of you. You can hire another stooge.
You really mean that, don't you?
That's right, I'm through. Through!
So you'll run away with a little redhead after all I've done for you?
Save it, Francis, save it. You can get yourself another vice president.
And now you're running out on me.
I've always wanted to go to Mexico, remember?
Yes, I know.
Don!
What's the matter, Lisa? Does this gun frighten you?
Francis, don't be a fool. That gun won't solve anything.
Perhaps not, but at least when you go to Mexico, you'll go alone.
Francis, give me the gun!
No!
Oh,
For a full minute after the shot, you stand there, staring down at her, at the bright red splash on her blouse. The cabin is still. The only sound you hear is the foghorn at Point Bruner. Then slowly you bend over the body on the floor.
Don, is she...
She's dead.
Oh, Don, did you have to kill her?
No, I could have let her kill you. You'd like that better.
No, I guess not.
I had to shoot Lisa. She would have killed you.
I know. Anyway, it's done now. What are we going to do, Don?
What can we do? Call the police, I suppose.
No, they'd never believe us. They'd never believe it was self-defense.
But Lisa, what?
Don't you see? If they find out about us...
No, I don't suppose they would believe us.
Don, let's get away from here.
We can't leave her like this. We've got to get rid of her some way.
But how?
Lisa,
Yes?
Point Bruner. The shoals of Point Bruner. We could take her out there. No one would ever know.
No, but Don, it's 5 miles out. And the fog, how?
We've got to take the chance, Lisa.
Don, do we have to take her out there?
Yes, we have to, Lisa.
And so your wife, Frances, is buried on the fog-shrouded shoals off Point Bruner that night. The ceremony is brief, hurried, and silent, except for the low wail of the distant foghorn and the sound of the waves against the rocks. Then a few minutes before 9, you ease the motorboat up alongside the pier on the mainland. And with Lisa, you race up the path back to the beach house.
All right, Lisa. Get your things packed. The sooner we get out of here, the better.
I won't be long, what are you looking for?
The necklace. It must be around here someplace.
Don, do we have to take it with us?
Lisa, it's worth $10,000. I don't intend to leave it behind. It'll be a new start for us.
Well...
Hurry up. Get your things. I'll find it.
But the necklace isn't anywhere to be found, is it, Don? Frantically, you turn the living room upside down. The necklace is missing. And you're certain you saw it fall to the floor during the struggle with Frances. Or are you? She might have dropped it into her coat pocket. Yes. And you know what that means. The necklace is buried with Frances out there on the shoals. $10,000, Don. No. You can't leave that behind, can you?
Don, please, let's turn back. It's suicide trying to reach the shoals again. We're miles away and the fog is getting thicker every minute.
Don't worry, Lisa. We'll make it. Shut the motor off.
What
will you do as I say? The buoy is over there in this direction. Hear the bell?
I think so, but it sounds like it's coming from the left. Can't we turn on any lights?
We can't take a chance of being seen. The shoals are straight ahead.
Don, please, let's not risk it. We don't need the necklace.
Lisa, the necklace is worth $10,000. If we're going to disappear and make a new start, we'll need the money. It's our big break.
I know, but I'm afraid. Darling, the rocks, if we hit them, we won't have a chance. The current off the shoals will take us out to sea. We'll drown.
Darling, listen to me. That necklace out there means everything. It's a new start. A new start for the two of us. We've always wanted that, haven't we? Don't be afraid. We'll make it. Together.
The events behind the mysterious and unsolved disappearance of Don Kirby, his wife Frances, and a little-known movie extra, Lisa Hillman, came to a climax that foggy night on the California coast 7 years ago. But Joe Crofton, reporter, and readers of the Daily Globe will never know the real story. For Joe's trip to San Francisco netted him absolutely nothing. And the Kirby-Hillman case remained as much a mystery as ever. On the day after his return from San Francisco, Joe Crofton visited the office of Lieutenant McBride at police headquarters.
Hello, Thin Man.
Well. How's the boy reported?
Just fine, Lieutenant.
It seems to me the last time you were in here, you had something to say about coming back with a solution to the Kirby-Hillman mystery. You were going to dump it in my lap, remember?
No, that. Well, it's just one of those things, Lieutenant. Just one of those things. I'm afraid that's one mystery that will never be solved.
You're going to forget about it this time for good?
Yeah, I guess so. For a while, though, I thought I was onto something. Checked the pieces of that motorboat the Coast Guard picked up a couple hundred miles off the coast. At the same time, this ship disappeared, you know.
Yeah, we checked it out too. Registered to a guy named Sloan.
But no one seems to know the guy, Sloan. Well, there goes my last lead. What a case. Well, I got a feature story out of it.
A feature?
That's right. I told you I'd find the tie-in between these three missing people. This morning I went down to the beach and talked to some of the boys with the county rodent control. Since the Hillman girl disappeared, that place has been vacant and it's been overrun with rats. The boys are tearing it down. Funny thing, they found that necklace you told me was missing from the Kirby home.
Yeah, I asked for a full report.
I'll give it to you, Thin Man. They found the Kirby necklace under Lisa Hillman's cabin in a cozy little nest with a bunch of other stuff. They figured a pack rat must have decided it would look good to his girlfriend.